People will have much more respect for you when you have much more respect for yourself. Did you know? Yeah, people can tell if you respect yourself, and people will have much more respect for you when you have much more respect for you. Understand that you can build more respect for yourself, more integrity with yourself when you start doing the things that you claim that you do. Those of us that are jacks of all trades, you better be sure that you're good at all these many things. Those of us who have claimed to master a particular niche or master a particular aspect in the industry, you just better be delivering on your offers. You just better make sure that people feel as though they receive 10 times more than what they paid for or what they've asked for. Okay? Practice what you preach is important. Okay? When you aim to be a leader, you're going to be building teams. There are going to be people following you. When you aim, okay, to be great at managing, time management, okay, managing different groups, managing yourself in your own disciplines. When you aim to do this, practicing what you preach is not only going to benefit the people you preaching to, but also yourself. Yes, you will be cultivating more respect for yourself, more integrity. And what does this do? This builds on your self-perception. Okay? All of us are chasing our own self-perception. Some of us make friends with people that align with our self-perception. Some of us, we like to network within certain groups and circles that also resemble our self-perception. We must understand that we are attracted to things that look like us. Okay? You want to make sure that when you delivering yourself, no matter how you delivering yourself, you want to make sure you delivering yourself in truth and honesty and integrity. Because this is going to be the response you receive. Okay? Practice what you preach. Practicing what you preach cultivates a certain vibration around you. What type of vibration? This vibration, okay, will not only manifest what we asking for, but it'll also attract what we asking for. Why is this? Because if I set out to be the doctor, per se, okay, let's just say I set out to be the doctor. I set out to be one to help heal the minds, one to help, okay, be surgical with the brains. I wanted to go inside. Okay, let's just say I set out to be a doctor. Okay, it's not until I start being the doctor will I begin cultivating respect for myself, building on my self-perception, confidence in the person that I'm becoming and become. Okay, so I can't just say I'm a doctor. I'm going to have to be the doctor. Okay. This is why you see a lot of people who claim to be doctors. Later on in life, they start realizing either I'm not this way or I'm going to have to start going back to school. Yeah, proof and evidences matter mostly to yourself. Okay, why? Because you begin cultivating confidence with yourself when you do the things that you set out to do, when you complete tasks, when you complete the journeys that you made. Okay, within yourself towards personal growth and personal gain. When you complete these things, you develop confidence with yourself. And when you continue to develop confidence with yourself, you are walking the walk. You are practicing what you preach. Okay? So it's a difference. It's a difference when you become the preacher who not practicing what they preach. We understand what type of preacher that looks like. Okay? You look foolish. We're going to sum it up. You look foolish. The world isn't going to be so blunt as I am, but you look foolish When we go off into the world claiming to be particular things and we're not ready to put the work in, or didn't at the least study first, okay? So let's practice what we preach. And what is this going to help do? Not only manifest, as I said, but also attract, okay? We're going to begin attracting things, but more importantly, we're going to attract others who also practice what they preach. Yeah. See, you'll do better surrounding yourself around other people who are as confident as you, or even more confident, because they are doing the things, okay, that are obligated of us. And what are our obligations? Your only obligations are the things that came out of your mouth. Your only obligations, okay, are your own ideas or your own opinions or your own, okay, variables and plans that you set out to do. People are only making you obligated to the things that you set out to do. What does this mean? When I keep my word, okay, I'm practicing what I preach. Keeping your word is important, okay? This is another practice what you preach, keeping your word. And this can come in many different shapes and forms, but when you feel as though you're inadequate in a certain way, when you feel as though, okay, that certain variables, okay, aren't adding up, you can be honest and upfront, okay? If you haven't figured out a way around these things, you can be honest, right? Of course, in a clever way, you can be honest. But keeping your word is important. When you're going to be a place, be there at the time, even before the time. People want to know that not only that you respect them, but you respect yourself enough to keep your own word. It's your word, okay? So let's keep our words, okay? If we want to begin cultivating more confidence, practice what you preach. That's going to be the biggest jewel that you receive from practicing what you preach. You're going to receive some confidence, okay? You're going to receive more clear vision, not clairvoyance, clear vision, okay? Clairvoyance is okay, in the worlds that is necessary, but clear vision is even better. See, clear vision is a plan. Clear vision is objectives that lead to goals. Clear vision is the GPS to the thing that I want. Keeping my word provides clear vision. Okay? So, practicing what we preach. Practicing what we preach is going to increase your self-perception. Okay? We want to also remember that when I practice what I preach, I attract others that also practice what they preach. Okay? Again, you want to surround yourself around people who are aligned with the same things you are aligned with. Okay? Or offering you different opportunities of advancement. Okay? Let's practice what we preach. Especially when it comes down to the content creators, excuse me. How many of us are content creators? I know it's a lot of them. The world is growing in influencers. The world is growing in new speakers and new content creators. Here's a jewel for my content creators. Try practicing what you preach. Yup. I've went viral numerous numbers of times. I'm going to say it again. I've went viral numbers of times, and I'm going to keep going viral at least several times in a month. Why is this? Because I understand the formula is just this. Practice what you preach. When you claim to deliver a particular thing on a particular post, on a particular thumbnail, don't allow people to wait for this thing. Don't allow it to be something else that we didn't ask for. Give me what I asked for. Practice what you preach. Okay? If I clicked on this particular post or thumbnail wanting to learn, okay, new ways to roof, right? I wanted to become a roofer, then I better just be a roofer by the end of this content. Practice what you preach, okay? If you're going to show me different ways I can make my credit better, then by the end of this content, I should have better credit after practicing what you done told me to do. Practice what you preach. You see, because people are going to remember, okay, the value that they received from you. People are going to remember this. Your reputation, okay, in the digital space also matters. Practice what you preach. Those of us that's creating, okay? Your title should be according. You shouldn't post anything, right? If you're not sure that you're going to deliver on whatever the said title is. Okay? If I'm teaching you how to play piano, then I better be teaching you how to play piano. Okay? And I better be good at teaching you how to play a piano, or else how can I really confidently preach what I'm practicing? I'm obviously, if I'm not good at it, I haven't even been practicing it. So why would I preach it? Okay? So that's another thing. It's hard. It's hard to preach things you don't practice. That's why you look strange. Okay? It's hard to preach things you don't practice. This is why trying to convince yourself, okay, unrealistic expectations will not work. Okay? Why? Because it's hard to convince yourself unrealistic expectations if I'm not even putting forth the work. Okay? I'm not even practicing what I preach. This is why a lot of our affirmations go in vain. A lot of our affirmations, okay, begin to become futile and go other places in our mind but where they need to be. Those of us that like feeding ourselves affirmations and confirmations. An affirmation or a confirmation, or do you know justice if you're not practicing the affirmation or the confirmation? It could have words that lead to you feeling more abundant and reminding you that with the mind and the spirit of abundance, I am abundant. But if I don't put forth the mental investment into my personal gains, right, into my spiritual fortification, then abundance is just a word. Okay? We must understand that practicing what we preach holds rewards on both sides. You see, when you learn in yourself, okay, when you learn in yourself and you begin to realize that the things I can't converse on, I probably don't know too much about. Okay, you begin to see that maybe I need to study more, maybe I need to practice more. Okay, and you can also learn and see different things that you are fluent on. Okay, you can more or less find different ways to offer value to the marketplace, just looking at the different things that you are fluent on, the different things that you are knowledgeable on, the different things that you are confident on, because a lot of those begin to create the offers that you're going to be delivering to the marketplace. Okay? So let's practice what we preach, and let's cultivate this understanding. Okay? If you're in my gold tribe, I have challenges lined up for us to help us practice what we preach, to give us exercises and activities to help cultivate preacherhood. Yeah, we're going to become the preachers. We're going to become the preachers of our own doctrines. Okay? And we're going to remember this as we run around preaching. Okay? If you cannot make a follower, if you cannot make a believer, then it's because you don't believe you, and that means we're not going to believe you. I'm going to say it again. If you cannot make a believer, or whatever you preaching, that's because you don't believe you. And so we're not going to believe you either. Okay? So let's focus on preaching the things we actually understand, the things we actually know, the things we actually have knowledge on, not things that's vague. For example, someone asked a client after therapy today, they asked me some questions pertaining to the female's journey, right, through the menstrual cycle. And they know that I'm educated when it comes down to hormonal differences, hormonal imbalances, okay? Especially when it pertains to the cycles of the moon, okay? Or the menstrual cycle as we understand it. This person asks questions because their daughter has just reached this point, okay? They understood that they grew up without receiving the proper knowledge, without receiving the proper nourishment, okay? So they understood that it was certain knowledge that they couldn't give their young female offspring. So they sought advice from someone that they knew was more educated on this particular area than they are. Let me remind you that I am also male. Okay? Let me remind you that my expertise are in mental wealth. Okay? I am an expert in the mind in transforming and transmuting emotions into energy, as well as energy into wealth. This is my area of expertise and mastery. Okay? I have many different forms of literature and offered many different courses to the marketplace for the last several years. Okay? But although that's my area of expertise and something I've mastered and continue to study and aim to increase my mastery, I also have knowledge on many other things in many other areas, okay? Such as the body, okay? Such as the menstrual cycle, and even cycles that pertain to men, okay? Men also go through different cycles during the month, okay? Although I'm aware of these different things, I had to let my particular client know that I am not a master of this particular field. Yet I'm going to direct you to particular masters of this field. Why? Because I don't want to just give you an opinion. I will much more rather give you a lesson, because that's what your spirit is asking for. And since I'm not master of this particular topic, who am I to be teaching a lesson? Okay? Who am I to be preaching something that I don't practice? There is someone else that is their niche. There's someone else out there in the world that they've mastered. Okay? The body and the womb. And this is what I mean by practicing what you preach and not preaching things that you don't practice. Okay? My knowledge on the womb, my knowledge on the body, it all stems from the knowledge of the mind. I utilize different tonics and remedies to assist our body and assist in our mind, to assist our body in, okay, harnessed in the spirit that's necessary. I'm going to say that again. Tonics, remedies, right? They provide proactive care that assist the body with assisting the mind. This assists the spirit. Okay? You see the circumnavigation of assisting going on there? Okay? But I want you to understand, just as the mind is on the top of the body, I'm on the top of this. I'm on the top of whatever problem or mental ailment we have. I'm on the top of whatever spiritual ailment we have. I'm on the top of every physical ailment we have, because I understand that the only way we got there was through the decisions that the mind have made. Okay? So nevertheless, I sent this individual to the places that they need to be, and I also shared some of my tonics and remedies with this individual, and I also reminded this person, okay, that I am the creator of the divine womb. Excuse me. I am the creator of the divine womb and the divine male, which are hormonal balancing supplements. Okay? I reminded this person still in all. Okay? I'm not master of this particular topic. Let's be mindful to not be preachers, right? When you can't preach a thing that you even believe in, you're not fully confident in it. And that's what I was expressing to this individual. Okay? When it comes to the world of young women, when it comes to the world of young wombs, okay, there are much more educated people than I am. Okay? So as we move forward, let's practice what we preach. Okay? You don't want to put your foot in your mouth. Okay? You don't want to be the person that's telling people you can do more than you can. You don't want to begin piling your schedule up. Okay? Practice what you preach. Be the person that we asked for. Be the person that you said that you were. Okay? Because we live in a world that people run around being whoever they wish to be in the time. Okay? No, practicing what you preach isn't about jumping from one mindset to the other unless it's in an upgrading manner. It's about standing flat-footed in the things you have faith in. Okay? Being confident and cultivating confidence from the things that you know. Okay? Be sure to share this energy with anybody that needs this energy. Thank you.